G'day guys and welcome to the Hunters Campfire. Pull up a chair, get comfortable and enjoy some great company with Mark, Ian and Jono. Thanks to our friends at SSAA and Beretta Australia, we're here to help you make the most of everything you love about hunting, shooting and the great outdoors. Good evening. I was waiting for some kind of soundtrack.
I thought there was going to be intro music.
There we go.
No one told me that.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Hunters Campfire podcast. We're back. It's Tuesday night, and it's the eve of our. Thank you very much. Here am I.
There we go. You asked for some intro? I did it.
Did it? Yes. I actually laughed at the end of the last podcast that's being released today. That after the outro track was played, you played the applause, and that was funny. We're like, kill me now. Okay, we're done.
Okay.
So, Mark, you were saying, what's tonight's podcast brought to us by?
Right, Pixfra. Thermal optics, or the Mile 2 particularly, which is one I'm actually taking both of them to Sambertown. I've renamed Sydney Sambertown.
Well,
Sydney's
you
a
can
bit boring.
hunt as many as you want in Sydney as you want. I'm heading further down into the snowies.
Yeah, but we've got to go to Sydney first.
I know. I'm looking forward to it. Aren't you looking forward to it?
Yeah, no, that's why I'm calling it
Sambertown. It's going to be great. A whole club worth of people just waiting for me to talk about me. How good.
Captive audience.
The disappointment.
They're all just going to be there for the prizes. That's
yes,
all.
well, you got to buy friends somehow. You got to buy friends.
There's some good prizes too. It's what the
prizes,
and
yeah.
O-lights, they're there for the prizes. I hope they make some coin off the raffle.
Whoever wins the binos should shout Jono a beer, because at some point in time we realise that we've given away his binos.
I've come to realise that.
You can give them. Maybe they'll swap your soirees for the binos afterwards.
Don't know if I can do that.
Man, it's a bit hard to please.
Soirees are soirees.
Yeah, but they don't tell you how far they are away. They're old.
They're old technology. Who needs those things?
Move on. Yeah, soiree schmarre. Okay, so tell us more about Pixfra.
Well,
other than the fact that
I've been playing with them. I've been charging them.
Someone's taken pity on us and handed us some thermals to make sure we come home with meat.
So Matt from C.R. Kennedy sent these to us. I've charged them up. I do like, it's called the Alarm. That's the color palette. It's called Alarm. I quite like Alarm. It gives real high definition, especially during the daytime. So when you're looking at things, it's like you're looking at a image, like a photo in monochrome. It's got that really high definition.
I've got a question actually.
Because I kind of thought about the thermals. Most of them look great at night. It's just because you can't see, so anything you can see, this is fantastic. But actually during the day, getting that clarity during the day was actually quite impressive. It was real. And there was one of my neighbours was in his backyard and I could see him.
Here's the voyeur side.
Nothing worse.
His wife was in the bathroom.
Nothing worse. There's nothing worse, but I could see the heat signature. That was the important.
Yeah. So my question is,
okay,
the different colour palettes in a thermal, what is it like if you're colourblind? What do you see? Is it just monochrome? Is every colour palette monochrome?
I don't care. I'm over the colourblind issue. I simply don't care.
I can tell you right now, I can see all the colours. I just don't know what they are.
Okay.
Well, you do because it says red.
Whoa.
Okay, so when you go through it, it goes, black hot. Then it says white
That's
hot.
what you're talking about.
And then it does that one. I think it's called iron. The bright red one is iron, I think. And then it goes to Alarm. And it's got a couple of others. And I like Alarm. It gives you really good clarity. Of course, it'll be different when we're in the frigid south. Basically, anything warm will probably light up.
I've been trying to convince myself that it's not that cold down there. I look at the weather every day, and the temperatures in Toowoomba are colder by a degree or two than the temperatures where we're going.
No, they're not.
And then when I spoke to them, a conversation with one of the boys down there and he said, remind me you've got to fuel up here because you need to get alpine fuel.
Yes.
So it doesn't freeze.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
I don't know how you can say it's the same temperature as Toowoomba. I don't know what you're looking at. If you look at Rockton, New South Wales.
Yeah, Rockton.
It's -5 on on.
Oh, that's cold. Yeah, it's not -5 here.
It's
It's cold in
-5 on
Toowoomba.
Friday, and it's not -5 in Toowoomba on Friday.
Well, I mean, I'm comparing day by day, not the future. Who looks at the future on a forecast? I mean, it's called forecast.
I only look when we're going. That's why it's called.
Yeah, I've been looking at that, but I've also been looking at the temperature here and the temperature there at the same time.
I think you're looking at the wrong place if you think it's the same as Toowoomba. I really do.
Well, maybe.
Because I'm looking at Rockton, New South Wales right now.
As I have been. And my recent searches, Rockton, New South Wales.
And right now it says Wednesday, as in tomorrow. I know that's into the future, but it is.
Forecasting. Yep.
Is 12 and -2.
So what's the temperature in Toowoomba tomorrow?
Well,
it's not 12 and
warmer than that.
It's not 12 and -2.
We've been having 12 and -2 for the last week.
In Toowoomba.
Yes.
Yeah, and in the last week, what has it been in Rockton, New South Wales?
13 and 1.
Okay.
15 and -2.
Toowoomba tomorrow is 8 and 20.
Well, that's tomorrow. That wasn't last week when, Oh, stuff off all of you. It's going to be cold. All right. I've been talking myself into it. It's not that cold, though. It's -2. We'll get over it.
Yeah,
So
we have it in London.
On Friday of the first day of the 1st of August in Toowoomba, it was 5.9 and 16. On Saturday, it was 2.8 and 11. On Sunday, it was 3.9 and 13.7. Monday was 6.2 and 19.6, and today it was 8.3 and 20. Okay?
I don't live in Toowoomba.
He doesn't. He's like
higher up.
That's right, because you're like in this Arctic bubbles. And if we look at Rockton,
I can just tell you the temperature of my house when I go outside.
Okay, here's the Rockton daily summaries: 1.4 and 8, 3.8, and so yeah,
that's a touch colder. All right, I get it. All right, it's a touch colder. Right.
Yeah,
make sure you got your thermals.
Friday is 11 and -5. That's Friday.
They all arrive on the courier tomorrow.
Yeah,
looking forward to that. Just in time.
And the other thing is that the felt temperature's always like in Rockton.
Yeah, what's the wind?
Yeah, maybe I was referring to the feels like temperature rather than the real temperature.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, areas of severe frost.
Severe, right.
Snow possible above 30. We're nowhere near that. We're not near the snow line.
Oh, well,
what's the altitude at?
I looked it up. Rockton was 100 and something.
Oh, it's low.
Yeah, it's the base of the Snowies.
Okay.
By the looks of it. Because it actually comes under the Snowy Mountains area. So
should be good. Anyway, Jason Sandberg, it's going to be fun. And we now have a couple of thermals to spot the odd heat signature on the paddock and track down a deer once it's shot and run off into the bush. I actually watched a really cool episode of Clark Boys Hunting the other day. Clark Boys Hunting are a Huntec-sponsored crew out of New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
And very similar brands to what we use.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, they were trialing out some pulsar thermals, the binocular versions of pulsar thermals. And it was really cool how they were using them. I mean, as you would expect, they weren't using them at nighttime, they used them in the daytime, but they were able to glass the faces across. And as he glassed across, it was like deer, 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 chamois, and decide, what was over there. And then they were able to glass down the gullies and that sort of stuff. But then they shot a couple of meat animals and they both disappeared into the bush, and how they've managed to track the animal with the thermals was pretty cool. So, I thought that was pretty good. They were able to find this thing that was lying in the scrub that they probably wouldn't have found otherwise. Good heat signature on it for search and recover.
Yep. I remember in 2019 in the UK, they were using thermals all the time even then, and we were in a particular place and you could see the fallow buck. You could see the antlers and everything. But
that's interesting.
But when I tried to see him with the binos,
must have been still in velvet.
When I tried to see him with the binos, would not see him.
The ones we saw with the thermals, we were playing with thermals a while ago. The antlers were just empty space because they were.
There's no blood flow,
dead,
no heat.
There's no vein or anything going through it. It was just a void, which was quite a cool color palette to look at on the black night. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I saw in the UK they were using thermal drones to do deer counting to see what the herd size was like, and they had footage of just literally, I think it was herds of up to 200 fallow just on these thermal drones, using those for the numbers. It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, this was during the day too. That was winter daytime in England, so it's quite
pretty
dull.
cool.
I remember they could see it, and as soon as you're trying to glass it, just could not see it. But in the thermal, it was there. So we might experience in a few days.
All right, cool.
It's so quiet here, I can hear the ringing in my ears. It's probably not a laughing matter, but it's too late now.
Too many guns going off next to you.
Too many,
and it just is a thing.
Yeah, too much motorbikes, too much Alpine stereos, too much of this, too much of that, too much of everything. Yeah.
All right, very good. All right, what else has happened this week? Anything of interest?
Well, I spoke to a guy called Mike Arnold from Mike Arnold Outdoors, who's a writer in the US, in Georgia. He's written 2 very interesting books, one about bringing back the lions, which is about the conservation effort of rewilding with lions in Africa, and also bringing back the wild, which is a more global look at rewilding in Africa. The reason I called him was, as you said, I'm starting to think about writing the book, so I'm reaching out to writers that I like and asking them questions about these processes. So if you're looking online, look for Mike Arnold Outdoors. Very intelligent guy. He's actually a professor of genetics, and they're kind of the hunting things. I wouldn't say it's his side hustle, but it's a big part of his life. But that's his professional life is a university lecturer. And so obviously he's very interested in things like biodiversity and biology. Spent a lot of time in Africa, Mozambique especially. And nicest guy you ever meet. Couldn't be more helpful. Fantastic. So have a look at Mike Arnold Outdoors. Got a smallish Facebook profile. It's more of a website-based thing. And his 2 books.
Very good.
Very good.
So that's the research. I found this book the other day.
Amber Hunter.
Oh. Who wrote that?
Curvy. Yeah, anyway. I've been just brushing up on my Samba language for this week. Anywho, moving on. What else? Anything else happening, Mark, from your side?
No, other than getting ready for the road trip.
Any new gear testing?
Yes. Well, the big piece is the BRX with the Steiner scope. This will be the first time I've hunted with that particular outfit. So,
Minecraft gun.
Minecraft rifle, but with the scope. I have hunted with the Minecraft rifle before, but this is a time with the fitted scope. I went to the range. Got it zeroed at 100 and 200. I'll get it not zero, but working nice at 100 and 200. Got one of the range officers to come over and had a crack at 300. Was doing pretty well. Got the drop right. So pretty happy to take a big fat Samba out to 300.
Nice.
So I'd like to take them at 30, but that's just how I like to do it. But if the opportunity's there, we'll try and put something with legs on it. The 150 grain seemed to be flying very nicely. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that rifle performs. And, of course, the thermals. That's probably the 2 big pieces of kit that I haven't tried yet.
It's good.
That's it.
Don't forget your blaze.
Yeah, well, I already packed or down in the pack. Got the Mark Hobbs' blaze beanie.
Oh, they're the best.
Yeah, good. Got a blaze beanie. And I've got a blaze vest. I've also taken a blaze hat, but I don't know if I'll probably wear that or I might wear it over the beanie.
Oh, if it's anything like Toowoomba,
you'll be right.
I might get taken by a polar bear.
Shorts and t-shirt. Yeah. All right. That's cool.
What about you, Ian? What are you trying out on this trip?
I don't have a whole bunch of new stuff other than I say that. I put the Eliminator 6 on the Lupo so I can, when Mark sees a deer at 400 meters that he doesn't want to take, I can take it out. And I've got the full field, as we've spoken about already, on the 7mm Rem Mag. So they're the 2 new bits of kit. It's really just the scopes on the rifles. But they're on now, so it's point and shoot sort of stuff now. Pack's the same, rest of the gear's the same. Probably the only other thing I hope not to be trialing out, so to speak, but thermals. I'll be using thermals, which is not normal.
And not the thermal images.
No, I'm talking about clothing, puffies, puffer jackets, and merino style stuff. Yeah, I'll be top to tail in my Toowoomba casual wear. That's about it. No, nothing else too much. I'm actually really looking forward to the club meeting. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's it.
Interacting with a group of guys down there and having a good old chit chat. And Hellenic Hunters, origins out of Greece, and I'm sure they know how to cook meat. Big fan of cooked meat. And
for those who are listening, we are going to try and record the event, at least
Mhm.
parts of it. We have every intention.
And the 10-hour drive down.
Oh yeah,
we might have to stand up a website for in-car karaoke so that you can tune in and sing along.
I thought I'd find a big hat and so record some kind of, hokey folk wisdom with a big hat sitting in this car.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Some guy with a big hat tells you all
lots of thought bubbles being recorded on the way. Some might get posted live, we're not sure. We may or may not stop in at the Pie Mechanic. We're definitely stopping in along the way to see our buddy Blaine, drop him off his hunter's campfire knife on the way because he's bought a knife.
Oh, okay. So we are going down to New England.
We're definitely not going any other way. Which other way we go?
Newell?
No, we're not going down the Newell to Sydney.
Okay.
We'd be going back up the Newell from Canberra.
I thought Newell to Willow Tree and then converge. Okay.
Nah.
Yeah, I would have thought New England, but yeah. Mark, you're probably more used to these long drives, but yeah.
We'll be coming up the inland route back from Canberra. We won't go through Sydney on the way back. Anyway, enough about the logistics. Speaking of the Hunter's Campfire knife, they are here in stock, running out fast. I may have accidentally ordered more than I thought. So we have some spares. Not too many spares, but if I told you that we'd run out via email and you're listening to this, we have no longer run out. We have a few extras. So hit me up back. I've deleted your email. I'm sorry. I replied first and then deleted your email.
Thy name is a Hunter's Campfire.
That's right. Do you have any knives? No, we don't. I'm sorry. Check back another time. Goodbye. Delete. I
should have put subscribe here. And
well, if I had the technology, Matt, I would have done that.
Yes.
Hang on one sec.
No, don't make a note. Don't make
No, I'm not. Go.
Why are you phoning me?
I'm just ringing. Hello, tech support. Can you fix our website so that we can have subscribers? Thanks, mate.
It needs to give you a ticket.
Yeah, I can log a ticket for that. Yeah.
You log a ticket.
I can do a subscribe here. That's easy.
Great. See, that was a good use of the phone call.
Market newsletter.
I could do. With your Eliminator 6, because it basically does all the thinking for you. With your Predator 8, you've actually got it set to those lovely little stacked dials in there, haven't you?
It's called zero stops, Mark.
Yeah, but you got multiples. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. The great dial. So, are you using those dials when you're shooting?
Absolutely.
Okay. Because I'm actually next year. I'm actually thinking of what I want to do, and one thing is I want to hunt deer, goat, and pig with the Chapuis, which is completely what we're not talking about here, which is point and aim, blunderbuss.
The opposite of a.
What I would like to do is actually with the 3006, because it's such a nice rifle to shoot, and it has that Predator 4 on it. My 3006.
Oh, which brand, flavour, look and feel is that?
It's a Tikka, the old Tikka, with the custom stock and custom everything else on it. I'm actually thinking I want to set that up and have that as a dial-in rifle, just for the
so
fun.
Handy. Yeah. You know what? I had a rifle that had zero stops before, and I didn't really make a whole lot of use of it. But now I'm using the LRFs, the Steiner LRFs, because it's so much easier just to range stuff. And not that it was hard before, but I had binos, then I had a rangefinder, then I had a rifle. You're just kind of juggling shit. Now that you've got the binos and the LRF, and they've been out a long time now, so it's not exactly new tech, but because every time I'm glassing, I'm ranging, I know what stuff is, and I find that the zero stops are so much more useful. You just kind of know what's going on. And even in the video, you'll see Red 3 when it comes out, there's a lot of talk with Lawson saying, hey, just range this, range that, because I'm mindful that I've got the 1, 2, 3, 400 meter zero stops dialed in and in place, so I can just adjust. The only thing is, and I think I spoke to you. I think I rang you and said
you did. You asked me about
what I was doing, but because I had 300 meters and I had 400 meters, and obviously if it was 350 meters, it wouldn't be exactly halfway between the stops.
No, my feeling is it
drops off a lot quicker at the tail.
At least a 60-40 mix.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if not a bit more.
If not 70-30.
But they're the sorts of things that you learn over time when you go to the range. You can have your 3 and your 400 meters, and you know that to dial it to 250. If it's 8 clicks between 3 and 400, it might be three of those clicks to get to 350, and then it's more and more and more. So, but yeah, handy.
real handy.
At Belmont, you can go out to 500 on the metal. You can't, you need a spotter to see if it's and that's 500 meters. And whilst the Predator 4 doesn't have multiple zero stops, it'll just be, it'd be just counting it and recording the click elevation.
Yeah, no different. Yeah,
and I'm assuming I'll have enough travel to get out to the elevation of 500 meters.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
And that's not. Yeah, if not, you can actually adjust it so it gives you more travel. So that's it. Yeah,
that's the way that people have done it for years. They put the dope card on there and just
that's it.
Adjust the suit. Having the dials is just a quick 3 to 4 done.
Because I actually quite enjoyed shooting out to the 300 with the and having a spotter.
Well, my other local range has got out to 1,000 yards. So when you're ready to stretch it, we might book a day in down there and invite a few people along and stretch the legs of the rifles. That'd be fun.
That'd be great fun.
3006 is
good.
Definitely a lovely rifle to shoot, and it's it's great in that position. That's what I'm planning to do next year.
Cool, very good. Jono, how's the back? Are you coming to Buffalo camp yet? Or are you still on the fence?
Buffalo's looking good, so I have the physio's approval to start exercising again, so that's good. I can't do any load bearing at this stage, but I can start exercising again. So from tomorrow, I shall be starting training again. So yeah, hopefully everything's on track.
Right. Well, and for the dozen people that think they're going to get a call up, I'm sorry to disappoint you. Jono is still on schedule.
On schedule at the moment. Yes.
Yeah, but don't wipe the dates out altogether. I'm sure you know who you are.
Okay.
I don't know who they are, but if they're hopeful, they're hopeful.
It's got some keen punters in the background, eh?
It won't be the first hunt we've had a call up late.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
even Samba. Jono's dropped out of Samba. We've had a late call up. Who's joining us?
That's right. Graham went to all the trouble of having an appendicitis just to not go.
Yeah, that was Samba last year, so we had a late call up.
That was the territory.
That was Buffalo. Yeah, it was Buffalo last year.
Yeah, so it happens.
It does, never know. Unfortunately.
All right, let's move to some key developments. This is just stuff that's happened in the media over the last day for discussion. The Conservation and Hunting Bill, geez, it's still there, but it's obviously getting closer and closer to the day where it's going to be decided because it's picking up big time. You see there was a thing on the socials today, some random clown quoting John Howard again. He gets rolled out, doesn't he, every time one of these things happen? Anyway, he sharply criticised the legislation, calling it a government-funded gun lobby, and it would undermine Australia's stringent post-Port Arthur gun laws. Well, maybe they shouldn't have been put in place to start with.
Well, no, it's just roll out the usual.
Yeah. It's playing on emotion.
First they went through the danger to people in the parks. Now they're that's being squashed because there's no evidence whatsoever. So now it's danger to the wider community. That's all they've got to go by.
And they've brought out a family member from Port Arthur to plead, all of that sort of stuff.
But if you actually look at the legislation, there's very little to do with gun laws in the legislation. Yeah. So
anyway, that's it's going around in circles. It still seems to have enormous support inside the halls. So let's hope they get it done and dusted.
Let's hope. But that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing the typical, what can we throw at it? It's an interesting, it's actually really counterintuitive in that we know that to make better drivers, you license people to drive and you put requirements upon them to be, and that we accept that the reason to do that is it makes people better drivers. So you would assume that by logic, to regulate hunting would make safer, better hunters. No, sorry, don't like that. That logic no longer applies. Incorrect. Bad. So, but it's just, that's all it's doing. That's the whole problem we're dealing here with, is that we're not dealing with a logical argument. It's not like so many people have been hurt, so let's not increase the potential for harm. No one's been hurt. And what else can we do? And away we go. As you said, nowhere else would you say, please don't volunteer, please don't participate, please don't do these things. We don't want you. When it comes to this, that's exactly what they're saying. Don't do it. Don't participate. Don't do it.
Let us spend all this money to control these animals.
Don't spend money. Don't help industry. Don't help local economies.
We'll spend your taxpayers' dollars to control this.
And I was watching one of the news. Was doing an interview with the Country Fire Association down there in Victoria. Who there's been major issues with them. And the guy was saying, look, everyone here, where's the Green Party now? We're talking about fighting fires. They're not here.
No.
So that's what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with any kind of logical argument. We're dealing with emotive arguments.
Yeah, and they're just putting a whole lot of pressure on the Premier to reject it, whether those that support him will follow suit. Doesn't look like he's going to do that. Anywho, it goes on. We look forward to the end of it and hopefully a successful outcome. Meanwhile, in Victoria, they've amended the National Parks Act to allow seasonal deer hunting across another 130,000 hectares of public land, including parts of the Snowy River and Erindundra National Parks. Someone will know how to pronounce that. So it just rolled out in Victoria, no sweat. All good.
Oh no, there's been plenty of sweat about that one. Again.
Oh, there has?
Oh yes, you'll get you'll be killed. There's danger in the same.
Oh well, that one.
Same problem.
Yeah. The decision has been welcomed by both the Sporting Shooters Association of Australia and the Australian Deer Association, who say they support regional economies and helps manage invasive deer populations. In 2023, recreational hunters harvested around 137,000 deer across 332,000 hunter days, with over half occurring on public land. Go you guys. That's bloody
brilliant.
That's a big number. 1,000. How many did the choppers shoot?
Not
2,000? 2,500?
Not that many.
At what cost as well?
Boom. Big number. Yep.
And that's only deer. I mean, you look at the data that, Ned Macon collects, the many pigs that they're banging on their head every week is just phenomenal. Just doing their job, getting it done.
Well, they're the two key developments for the week. Hopefully, New South Wales gets the job done.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Fingers, toes, and everything else.
All right. Shall we move on to InFocus?
Well, yes. So maybe we should introduce InFocus before we move to InFocus.
Well, you'll learn about it if you just hang with us for half a second. InFocus. I think we talked about it a little while ago. One of the changes we're making to the format is that we have a number of people that we would like to talk to, interview style, short form interview, drop them into the podcast, something of interest for you to listen to. Well, we've recorded our first one with our good friend Jason Menzies. If you don't know Jason, he was on the podcast with us 2 years ago, nearly, and he is he's a Kiwi that's settled over here in Queensland. Was on a similar hunting journey to a lot of us, trying to figure out where to hunt in Queensland, and ended up down in New South Wales. Does a lot of travel back and forth to New Zealand, chasing sika and reds and the kawikas and the kaimanawas in the North Island of New Zealand. And not long after we interviewed him, he was diagnosed, oddly enough, through a routine work bloods test for his work. They just found an anomaly in a blood test that most of us don't get at work. So he found it, and he was able to look back a little bit and identify some of the symptoms that he'd been suffering from and put two and two together. But anyway, it was a conversation with Jason about post-diagnosis of type 1 diabetes and his road to recovery and manageability, and how he's turned his lifestyle around with health, fitness, and all things like that to get it under control. It's a great story, and all of those things have supported his hunting along the way as well. So we had a chat. We'll drop it in here, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, welcome to our first InFocus session. We're running these sessions with most of our podcasts now, where we like to have a chat with a guest that you might know and just deep dive in on a subject that we think is important to us, health, our hunting, and all the things that go with it. So InFocus today, we've got Jason Menzies. Welcome back, mate. It's good to have you here.
Thank you very much. It's been a couple of years, I think.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah, you were on one of our early podcasts, and geez, a lot of life has happened since then.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's been a big one. So before we kick off into too much of it, you're out there, you're busy. I see you've been out on the bridle trail the last couple of days. What's the story there?
Yes, so just spent the last 3 days with the missus doing about 160 Ks over the 3 days. So it's the Brisbane Valley Rail Trail, which pretty much goes from Yarraman right through to Ipswich. So we spent the last 3 days kind of exploring some of that area, a bit of red deer country through some of that area as well. So it was pretty cool just kind of finding out a little bit more history about the area and, stopping off at the little towns along the way.
Oh, there you go. Not quite what I thought it was. And we were just talking before we started. I did a bit of mapping on you're calling that the rail trail. The bridle trail, I think, uses components of the rail trail, but the bridle trail is the trail that runs from the top of the country all the way to the bottom of the country.
Yes, so this is the old
the rail
trail that went from Yarraman all the way through to pretty much Ipswich there. And yeah, I think it was decommissioned. Well, they built it back in like the early 1900s, and I think it ran right through to about 1988. And then it's been decommissioned, and now it's a rail trail, which is pretty popular to check out the area.
So have you finished it now? Is that the 3 days?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, I noticed you had a chilly morning out there the other day. The social media had you rubbing your hands together first thing in the morning. So
it was icy cold.
Yeah, well, you might go and look up the if you want a bit more of an orienteering based activity, the bridle trail, which runs, like I said, from the top of the country to the bottom of the country. There's a section that runs from Blackbutt Yarraman area all the way through to Killarney. That's like this one section in the book, and you're basically following written guidelines, but it tracks its way through the likes of Eskdale Station and places like that on gazetted roads that run through these farms. Yes. So all of the farmers know that it exists, and there's phone numbers. You can ring them and say, "Hey, I'm on the trail. I'm coming through." They provide campsites and water points and that sort of stuff, because it's designed for people that were on horseback. But people do it on foot, people do it with their dogs, people do it on push bikes and all that sort of stuff. And I did it in a 4-wheel drive. It was a pretty cool experience. So yeah, check that one out. I'll send you some links. It's a pretty cool thing as well. A lot of history.
Sounds good. Yeah, definitely cool to find out a little bit more history about the area.
Yeah. So hey, let's jump into some health stuff. So after our conversation a couple of years ago, you went through a big health scare. Right, with and had a diagnosis with type 1 diabetes, type 8?
Type 1 diabetes. So pretty much bang on 2 years ago now. Through work, we get annual blood testing completed as part of our kind of health checks, just to see like it's an optional thing that we do. So every year I go through and get my bloods taken, and pretty much bang on 2 years ago, it came back with elevated glucose, or my blood sugars were saturated with glucose. So a little bit more testing, and pretty much came to a diagnosis that I was a type 1 diabetic. So 37 years old, bit healthy, and then next thing, diagnosed as type 1 diabetic, which was a pretty big shock at the time. It was because you feel felt so good, and then just all of a sudden, bang, with a chronic illness like type 1 diabetes. I knew very little about it, and so it's been an interesting last kind of 2 years.
Yeah, and you've certainly, well, outwardly anyway, looks like you're managing it super well, and health and lifestyle and all those sorts of things have come into play to help you with it. And you had a pretty cool result that you shared on the socials not long ago around the numbers. But before we get into that, quite incredible. Not many of us have mandatory blood screening at work. So this is not something that many people would have picked up on. Were there other symptoms that you were feeling?
So now, in hindsight, once I got the blood test, there were a few times there was a hunt down in the high country, down in Victoria, that I just wasn't quite myself. Like I was pushing hard, but I'm a pretty fit guy, and just something wasn't right. But now I realised I was kind of going through a hypoglycemic event, or my blood sugars were crashing. Because at the time I was kind of really, I felt like I needed sugar or needed something just to keep me going. But I was lucky because of the annual testing, I managed to catch it quite early.
Amazing.
I got it at an early stage, and because the consequence, I suppose, of not catching it early is you pretty much find out from passing out or, going into one of these hypoglycemic events. So I was very fortunate that through the testing, through work, I was able to get diagnosed at a relatively early stage. And now it's just been the challenge of learning to kind of live with being a type 1 diabetic and the challenges that kind of entails.
Yeah, well, far out. And those challenges, many of us out there that, like, you hear about type 2 diabetes, these are things that are, often caused by obesity and those sorts of things. But type 1 is it's something that's obviously can creep up on anybody somehow. Like so
with the type 1, it's something that's always I've had, but it's taken something to kind of fire it up. And then what happens is my autoimmune is attacking my pancreas.
Yep.
Your pancreas is what makes the insulin, and the insulin is what kind of is the pathway to allow glucose to go through from your bloodstream into your cells to give you energy to be able to, just kind of survive and get that energy you need. Of course, with my pancreas has stopped making insulin. So what happens is that my bloodstream gets kind of saturated with glucose, and I can't uptake it. And then you start going through a lot of weight loss, drinking a lot of water, urinating a lot, and then eventually you'll probably have a hypoglycemic event where you'll kind of crash and potentially pass out. So it's, so now I have to, because I'm a type 1, I have to inject insulin daily. So there's quite a few processes that I've had to learn to kind of overcome. But it's quite amazing how resilient when I first got diagnosed 2 years ago, I was like,
mate, the community was with you. As much as we didn't want to reach out, and it was a very raw time for yourself and those around you, I can imagine. But a lot of us were on the fringes, going far out. What? Like how? What? This guy, he's happy, he's healthy, he does this stuff, and all of a sudden there's this thing out there that a lot of us don't really know a lot about. Fast forwarding though, you're now 2 years on, and clearly, like, you're smashing some goals. You're out there living your life. You're doing your stuff. How are you managing it? To go out on helicopters and go overseas, there's some serious planning that's got to go into that. So,
yep. So
day-to-day, the stuff it's okay. You're good.
Yeah, definitely. And when I first got diagnosed, you freak out. I'm never going to be able to do my backpack hunting. I'm never going to be able to run over 5K. And it's all these things are going to be quite overwhelming. But 2 years on, I am the fittest I've ever been. I'm probably mentally stronger than I have ever been. And I'm taking on challenges that I probably would never have taken on being diagnosed as type 1 diabetic. So, the first year was a real kind of a learning process to work out how my body reacted to things like exercise, how I had to be prepared. And then I've gone to, about a month ago, I just completed my first kind of 53K ultra race. So, back, like I was saying, 2 years ago, I never would have thought that would have been possible. My levels are crashing. I was kind of freaking out that, my way of life had changed. But you adapt, you learn, and you, now I'm kind of pushing myself harder, being prepared, of course, but I need to, be sensible about it, because it can be, it can go from, very good to very bad very quickly. So I have to be prepared, but I have those in places, have things in places for that. And just keep pushing the old goalposts further and further.
Yeah. Unreal. So that's good. And you've been on a couple of trips to New Zealand since.
Mm-hmm.
I think not long after diagnosis, you had a trip to New Zealand. So you were pretty much into planning that straight away. The second one must have been a lot easier. Yeah,
it is. And it's always just that little bit of fear in the back of your mind. What happens? What if? But as long as I've got all my things in place, all my gear I need for it, and I listen to my body, then I feel very comfortable now. I do solo trips again by myself, and I want to keep pushing that barrier further. So I'm actually looking for a 100K race early next year, which I'll do. And of course, a few backpack trips coming up. So I'm going down to Vic High Country for a month in October. Just keep pushing, but also at the same time, making sure I've got everything in place that I need, because I can't underestimate it either.
Yeah. Okay. So let's then look at the running. So you've picked up running as I'm not even going to call it a sport. It was obviously something that was supporting the lifestyle and helping you get fitter. What helped you pick running? What was it about running that?
It's hard. To be honest, it's hard. Running, I'm not a natural runner. I don't enjoy it, but it's hard.
You don't enjoy
it? No. I do enjoy once I get a race or something done. To get up every day and get those Ks in is hard. It's mentally tough. It's mentally a challenge. And that's why I'm enjoying it. It's just pushing myself to do something that I'm not really that passionate about. You're right. It gets the fitness going. The old mental health is amazing after a good run. And just want to push myself and see what I can achieve. So it's the running journey has definitely been a interesting one, tough but super rewarding at the same time.
Yeah, and I think I've dived into the world of running myself recently. I have eyes on a 50K ultra. I'm not sure I'm mad enough yet to say I have eyes on 100K, but I think that comes pretty soon after doing your 50.
It does.
You look forward to it. Oh, no, look out. My brother was, he won't mind me saying, he was a 140 kilo man doing 100 milers. And his body was falling apart because of it. He was going to podiatrist trying to figure out why his feet were falling to bits. He was a number of DNFs because his feet fell apart on track. He just couldn't deal with it. His mind was strong enough. The rest of his body was fine. He just couldn't. And it all came down to not bad shoes, not bad planning, too much weight pounding on the feet. So he had to come through, and he joined our HuntFit program to shed some kilos. And I think he's down 25, and he ran his PB 100 not long ago. So, he's the guys that, decide that they want to, better their health and, shed some kilos and do what they want to do and get into a sport like running or ultras or even, the Spartan type things and push themselves. I just think it's great for physical and mental health. It's a great thing.
And it flows through to the hunting as well.
It flows through the hunting.
Push harder, explore further. And that's one of the things I love. I'm literally the fittest I've been. And just for the hunting aspect, it's amazing. I can walk all day and just keep going.
Yeah. I noticed that on this year's hunt season. So, I was 40 kilos down heading into the hunt season and putting a pack on my back and wandering around all day. So much. I mean, it's obvious.
Yeah.
If you lose 40 kilos, it's going to be easier to wander around. But I just had so much more energy. Mentally, you feel better. Everything about you feels better. So, encouraging people through this HuntFit program to be better versions of themselves, not just for hunting, but for their families and for those sorts of things. It boosts your self-confidence and all of that stuff that comes along with it. So, yeah, I'm certainly understanding what you're talking about. Different drivers for different people, of course, but running, I think one of the reasons why I wanted to have a chat with you was because I spotted you on Strava, which a lot of people use when they're running, and I was kind of watching how fast you were going and how long you were going, and it's always good to be able to point at something and try and I'm not going to say compete, but certainly model some of the efforts.
That's what I'm definitely quite a competitive person, so I like that. Other people don't like the Strava aspect, but that's something I kind of thrive off, is seeing what other people are doing, what times they're doing, how far they're pushing it, because I'm that competitive nature. And it's the same thing. I think they can do that. Surely I can do that, so it pushes me harder and it also makes me a bit more consistent on putting those Ks in. Because for me, I do need that. Like I say, I'm not a big fan of running. It's more now just that mental toughness to get the consistency going, to throw those big Ks down, keep going, because it's what you need to keep pushing that a little bit further.
Yeah. So with the running then, what's a week's worth of miles look like underfoot?
So just before my 50, I was doing up to 50 to 80 Ks a week. And now I'm just going to have to start looking at what kind of plan I'm going to do for the 100K. So I've got that about mid-Feb. I'll go over to New Zealand to do the Tarawera 100.
Oh, you're doing that one as your first. You mad bastard.
So
holy shit! Not just taking on an easy one. Like people will hate me for saying this probably if they care at all about marathons, but people take on the Gold Coast Marathon because it's probably one of the easier ones. It's a bit flatter. It's a bit this. Tarawera is not that. It's like New Zealand's only golden ticket race, right?
Yeah,
it's a world known race.
So might as well choose a good one. So I'm going to sign up for the Tarawera 100. That's mid-Feb. That gives me plenty of time. But the thing is, I'll have to get a bit of a training plan in place, and then once again, that consistency, just getting those Ks in week.
Gives you goals. Yeah, Oh, that's unreal. Okay. And then let's talk about one of the things that I wanted to ask you about was gear, and what gear you're using sort of in the crossover between hunting and running. Like, are you finding that there's a good crossover of when I say equipment, you've probably got running vests, you've probably got different shoes, but in terms of clothing, poles, foods and things like that you've learned to eat while you were hunting, do they have a place in the running world? Or are they totally different hobbies?
They do a little bit. So just my trail shoes, I actually wore for a lot of seeker hunting this year, just because it was super dry this year and my boots were just a little bit heavy. So I was running my Solomon trail shoes for most of my hunts, which I found great, nice and versatile, easy to get around, and quite quiet through the beech forest with all the crispy the cornflakes through there. The biggest thing for me, I suppose, with my nutrition has been trying to get my nutrition dialed in with the diabetes. So it's been quite difficult. Constantly having to juggle what my levels are doing and then kind of fuel myself in relation to how my levels are. So it's kind of a constant, what I run, if you can see under my arm there, I've got like a CGM, so continuous glucose monitor. So that helps me kind of dial in my levels. And then for my running, I'm predominantly using gels to fuel me, and a few lies and bits and pieces. So it hasn't really been too much of a crossover from my trail running to my hunting. I will be getting some lightweight running poles for the 100K, but then I've got some different ones I run for my hunting as well.
Yeah. Okay. Wasn't sure how the Alton gear worked, whether it was lightweight enough and, all of the headgear and stuff that you have with them, whether it's the same sort of materials and things like that you might wear for long runs. Yeah,
I love the hat. I rock this every run, my Alton hat. But apart from that, then I'm pretty much just using dedicated running kind of
designed for the right stuff. Yeah. All right. The next thing I just wanted to touch on, if I take you then back to your 50, take us through the race. Like what, I mean, you've done a lot of work to get up to that point. There would have been a reasonable amount of doubt in your mind as well, as most people do when they go into their first 50 miles or 50 kilometres. 50 kilometres is a long way. Which race did you run?
It had 2,000 meters vertical as well. So the furthest I'd run prior to that race was 30Ks. So that's the longest run I'd had. I turned up on the day, got to the race line, and there is that uncertainty because there's also the pace factor. How quick do I run? It was a time I wanted to achieve. So I wanted to do a under 7 hour 53K race. So I kind of knew my pacing, but then it's just a lot of things to worry about. Worry about my levels, worry about, cramping, worry about my nutrition during the race. And there were a lot of nerves, but then I just broke it down to 10K segments and just focus on the 10K segments as I worked my way through. And to be honest, I had the best race, everything went well. The nutrition went well. The gear went well. My pacing went well. My body held up beautifully. I was very fortunate. The biggest thing, of course, I'm freaking out about is my levels crashing. So that's one of those things that are always running through the back of my mind. How are my levels? Are they crashing? Are they crashing? If they're higher, I can kind of manage it. But once they start dropping, then you kind of start panicking a little bit because, 1 minute you're good, 1 minute you're on the ground. So the whole race, my levels sat consistently where I wanted them, and the weather was perfect. Just is a great first ultra to get in the books.
Unreal. Where was it?
It was around Mount Cootha, so it's a big lap. It was the Guzzler PK, so right up around like the Mount Cootha Reservoir kind of catchment. Plenty of vertical. So like I said, over 2,000 meters vertical across that 53K, and quite a tough race.
Unreal. Okay. And Tarawera is next. Do you have your sights on any other Australian-based ones in between now and next year?
Yeah, definitely. So there's another. There's a couple more that I've looked to. I will be signing up to put 2 in the next couple of weeks. There's a one down south coming up in about a month's time. There's another 53K race I'll do down there. There's also the Blackhall 100, but I won't do the 100 version there. I might do the 50 as well there. I want to get a couple more 50s in before the 100. And I was on the fence if I was going to go for the 100K. I've committed, so now it's go time.
Cool. Awesome. All right. I just want to bring this back now to hunting and the impacts that your running fitness has had on hunting. Now, overall fitness, it goes without saying. If you're fit, you're fit. If you're fitter, and it's all going to help. But the physique of a runner, a lot of runners lean down fast, right? The physique of a runner is usually leaner. Yes, you're going to have a lot of people that muscle build as well, and they enjoy their running and they join these things. But a lot of the people are, thinner humans. How you go for strength, because you've leaned down in this process as well. How do you go for strength on the hills, carrying packs? Are you finding that you're having no issues? Are you having to do other things in your health regime to keep yourself fit, upper body for weight, that sort of stuff?
Yep. So I do a lot of, trail running, road running. So I predominantly probably do 50-50 of both. So with my trail running, I'm always targeting hills. Most of the road running I do around where I live is relatively flat. So I definitely have to keep on top of the hill work. Pack training, I pack train anyway. I do pack weighted pack hikes around the place at work, also here, just to keep that pack fitness up because that's very easy to lose. So I do a constant effort to keep some pack training, 20-30 kgs in the pack. And definitely before any hunting trips are coming up, I'm spending a lot of time doing pack training on top of the running. And the strength aspect I've been a little bit slack with. So I'm just really starting to incorporate some strength training, especially around the legs, just to build up a bit more muscle in the legs and a little bit of upper body work. That's one thing I'm definitely starting to really work on for the 100K is a bit of strength work in the gym. So I'm targeting the legs there.
Yeah. All right. So pack training is still important for you. But
Definitely.
A lot of the work that you do or a lot of the hunting that you do in the bush is backpack hunts.
Correct.
You're dropping in and you're carrying your pack, your tent, your everything with you. You're not talking day trips ranging away so much. You do some pretty serious missions.
Yeah, predominantly I'm mainly trying to do my backpack hunts, 3 to 7 day kind of trips, everything on the backpack, weights of, up to about 30, 35 kg packs. And you have to spend the time practicing. Otherwise, you're just going to be battling the whole time. And there's nothing worse. If you want to be covering country, pushing, you need to have that pack fitness. Nothing beats it than loading up the pack and just walking up hills.
Just go and do it. Yeah. So your last hunt, were you back in the Kaimanawas?
Yep, down the Kaimanawas.
Chasing seekers again.
Yeah, yep.
You seem to be hooked on that.
I love it.
Yeah. What about, do you do anything down south?
No, not this year. So I was mainly just focused around the central North Island. So chasing red deer and predominantly seeker deer through the Kaimanawas and Kawikas down the central North Island.
It's a magic place. Yeah, it's a magic spot.
Great. I love it. It's that beach forest and the seeker deer are love it. So
yeah, awesome. I'm leading a team over next year to probably to Southern Canterbury or Otago. We've got a Wapiti ballot going in.
Yep.
So I, for the first time, feel like I'm fit and healthy enough to put in for the ballot. I've always wanted to do it, but I've always shied away from it because I knew I wasn't physically capable of tackling that as a much bigger individual than I used to be. So now I'm pushing, I'll be 47 in a month. Got to do it now. If I'm going to do it, I've got to do it now. I've got to do it soon because it's not an old man's game. Climbing up those mountains.
Fiordland's definitely a different beast. We put in for the ballot every year. Yep. I haven't had one for quite a few years, so good luck. All the best.
Yeah. You got to start somewhere. Yeah.
It's a pretty cool country once you get in there.
The ballot aside, we'll head over at the same sort of period and go and do public land up on the tops there somewhere and go and figure that out. What do you recommend? I mean, pack training is one thing, but for people that haven't experienced hunting those big mountains over in New Zealand, the Southern Alps, what tips can you give them fitness-wise?
Be fit.
Doesn't matter how fit you are, be fitter.
It is, the country there is demanding, especially down south. That Fiordland is just another beast. And yeah, once again, that pack fitness, if you just, I've been over there when I haven't been this fit and
kicks your ass.
You're over 1,000 meters vertical to get out into the tops. So you need to have that pack fitness and be able to just to keep going all day, because once again, if you're not in a good catchment, you need to get over to the next one, keep working, keep moving. So if you think you're fit, get fitter.
Yeah, that's what happened last time as well. I think the style of hunting you can do over there now has changed a little bit with satellite technology that we've got now. You can be dropped into an area that you haven't planned for. You can pull the Starlinks out. You can get your maps out. You can spend some time seeing where you are, so you can be almost random about where you go. But and also your pickup points don't have to necessarily be dictated. You don't have to say we will be here in 6 days' time if you're doing heli drops and pickups.
Exactly. I've done the same thing. I've messaged the chopper pilot where we've ended up, and they've picked us up. So
yeah, and it's such a great way to do it. And I think we've all got access to that type of technology now, which makes it kind of interesting. But it also means that moving over to the next catchment is a thing. Whereas, before you might just stay in the catchment that you're in, because moving to the next one means you've got to come back again because the helicopter thinks he's getting you here.
Exactly.
So there's a whole range of things. And I mean, moving around those mountains it's got its challenges for sure.
It's awesome though. Once you get up on those tops and you just, you've got your backpack on, you load it up and you're just heading, you can't beat it. Like, it is stunning country.
It is amazing. Yeah, for sure. One thing I did want to ask, because we were just talking about shoes and boots and stuff before, using your ultra running shoes, and they're a different thing. I didn't even know there was a whole other category of shoes until I started running. I went to a dedicated running store and got a pair of Toppos that have done a great job, and I hadn't considered wearing them for hunting, but man, oh man, wouldn't they be comfortable?
They're cool.
No ankle support, but
yeah.
How do you...
And with the Seeker though, like they're perfect for the Seeker because you are so slow. Yep, you don't have the ankle support, so you do have to be wary about that. But there's a lot of benefits about using the old trail shoes for.
They're so soft. They're so soft, and well, that's the whole point of them. They've got amazing sole structures in them, so that you can just pound them all day long. But still, heading over onto those mountains, it's demanding on your boots. And this is where the lowers and things like that come into their own, because they're a very strong ankle supportive boot. I'm wondering whether there's a place for both. There probably isn't.
Not down south. No, I'd definitely be running your lowers or whatever your dedicated boots are, like those scree face.
Those shoes
destroy. And the undulations on those downhills and things, you need some good ankle support. So I wouldn't even contemplate it anywhere down south. It was more just that Seeker country definitely lends itself for that kind of stalking with the trail shoes on.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. All right. Well, now you're 2 years in after the life change. What's next on the list?
Yeah, so just keep going. I'm heading down to the Vic High Country in October, so I'll be chasing sambar down there on a few hunts down that way around Wild Deer Expo time down there. So head down there and then carry on running, get ready for this Tarawera, and then of course into the Rupt next year. That's kind of my goals. Just keep living a healthy lifestyle, keep learning about the disease and kind of working out what works best for me. And I suppose also trying to encourage other people as well. I'm pretty open about it. Some people, I suppose, can get diagnosed and, be a bit kind of closed book. I'm very opposite. So if anyone does have any questions or concerns or even something else health related, I'm more than happy to help where I can. But yeah, like I say, I'm very I like to help people about it and show what is possible.
Yeah, awesome, man. That's a really great thing that you're doing, just educating people around it. You can see it's quite open. If you find Jason on Facebook, you tell your story really well in bite-sized chunks as you go from, thing to thing to thing on your socials. It's pretty cool to watch. So keep all of that up and we'll stay in touch over it. We're heading to Samba in 2 days' time. We're heading down to to present to the Hellenic hunters down in Sydney, and then we're heading down with them to a block in the Snowy Mountains.
Oh, nice.
So, yep, we'll get the royal treatment down there, no doubt, with all of their amazing cooking to go along with it. So I'm looking forward to that. And then we're back up for Buffalo in 4 weeks' time. So we'll put that on the list again and see how we go. But I'll leave it there. I wanted to say thanks. I'm really glad we caught up. I just wanted to touch base on all of that. And I just think this whole healthy lifestyle program, you've really shown how it's changing what could be quite a horrible thing to have to deal with to something that is absolutely manageable and positive. And, you've really, changed the way things are going. So awesome, man. Great message. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
All right, buddy. Catch ya.
Catch ya.
Cool.
And we're back. What did you think of that, Jono?
Yeah, that was good. That was amazing. Fantastic.
I don't even know what's happening.
Jono on the spot.
I was actually looking up because we first spoke to Jason before. Remember, we met him at that Toowoomba show. I'm sure of it.
We spoke to him there, and then we brought him on the podcast.
That's right. He was one of the that when we first did those rushed interviews at the Toowoomba show, which is strange enough being advertised.
Oh, is it? Is it back on? Have they got hunting again?
No, that show's finished. That was the camping and outdoor show without hunting because, You
see, that's what happens when we attend.
He was episode 32.
There you go.
Jason Menzies. We go.
Top fella.
Almost 100.
I hope you enjoyed the little interview we had for half an hour, and good on him for sharing. It's always good to have people put that stuff out there and let others, contact and get that sort of support if they want it. So
we need to do more of those. I think this.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes, we need to do more. I think we'll do a couple down in Sydney with the Hellenic hunters.
I can imagine so.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I'm literally just looking at all our podcasts and reminiscing about the Queensland Adventure and Hunting Expo and what a disaster that was, but how much fun we had.
Yeah, it was heaps of fun.
It was heaps of fun, and we made some good mates.
That's what I mean. It was a disaster, but we had so much fun there. We met Mark Hobbs there. He's showing us his rifle case, which we all now own. It was great. And there's Joey basically having a heart attack because I was making fun of him. So yeah, we're going to have to do more of that stuff.
Good times. Well, the Wild Deer Expo is coming up down in Victoria in October.
Yeah, sounds very serious though.
It is very serious. It's a seriously good expo.
Yeah, seriously good expo. When are we going sambar hunting next year?
September. Hunt camp.
Would it not make sense to go in October?
Well, no, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. I say that as a get back in focus, camera. I say that because after we've been hunting sambar for 7 days or more, the last thing you want to do is stay there for another 3 or 4 days at an expo. It'd be better just to come home, have a shower, go back again. Give it a month. We can discuss. We would be authentic on the nose.
Authentically smelling of definitely.
We can discuss. There's other things at play here.
There is much at play. I got to shoot deer with a blunderbuss. So that's going to take some time.
Right, and there's this whole thing that's going to be out there next year, which is like Beretta's 500th birthday.
Well, that's why I'm shooting with blunderbuss out of my 500th celebration.
Quite keen to don the tweeds and, come out of the lodge with whatever fancy gun there is and go back to a hearth and swill some whiskey and have a opulent hunt experience with Team Beretta. That'd be fun. If you're listening to us, I've planned this for you.
If you're listening,
make it happen, team. Make it happen. Well, it's a 500th birthday. God, what else would you do?
You'd be chasing boars in Italy or something like that. Is what you'd be doing.
They might be.
I'm not sure if they will be there, but yeah. I actually saw. I was watching a James May special about Italy, and he went to Beretta, and he had some go. Had a few shots on a shotgun.
Dare I ask?
He went to the castle and all that stuff. That's amazing.
Jono?
What? James May, Top Gear.
Did you literally live in a cave?
Sorry, I'm going to change my title to not the car dude either.
What's that?
James May, never heard of her. What else we got?
The Top Gear. That's yeah.
Well, I know this other dude, Clarkson, because he's in the media with a gun and, deer population control. Apparently he was on some car show as well.
Yeah,
that's the same
but
show.
The gun was on the farm, not on the car show.
Oh, that would have made that show more fun.
Yeah, possibly. He was shooting with a very nice Blaser shooting,
right.
That beautiful rifle.
shooting, deer at close range with a blazer.
Yeah. Anywho, that is it. We're done.
We're
out. We're finished.
Yes.
Cool.
Early finish is a good finish for me. I've got to get back to some work.
It's not early. It's been like an hour and 15 minutes. Don't tell anyone. We pre-recorded that interview.
Well, no, I do not believe anyone thought that was a live interview. Okay?
It was never going to be live. It was always pre-recorded.
Nobody thought that. Nobody went.
We just had
They're
Jason
actually
sitting waiting
talking
for us
right
to
now.
finish up.
Wow, why didn't the other two fellas talk the whole time? No, that was never the case. And I
No
said it
one
was a
thought.
drop-in. It was a drop-in interview. Anyway, our good friends that are listening have been listening for an hour and a quarter. So thank you very much for tuning in. That is episode number 100
No, 30 or 30, 130.
Hang on.
131, actually. 131.
and we will talk to you from the road on the way to Sambertown.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be mumbling all the way down.
We will be.
I'm
Jono,
looking forward to the check-ins and the rambling and the...
play the outro.
You're going to have to play. You're going to have to look after all the tech, Jono.
That's fun. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Yeah.
Good night.
Hit it.
Why don't I ever get the intro anymore?
Ka-ching.
Good night, gents.
See you
Safe travels.
later.
Bye. Rightio, that's a wrap from the team at the Hunters Campfire. We hope you had a laugh, learned something useful, or at least were a little bit entertained. And you feel a little bit more pumped up for your next hunting, shooting, or outdoor misadventure. As always, a massive thanks for the support from our friends at SSAA and Beretta Australia. Whether you're out there chasing game, telling lies to your mates around the fire, or just trying to remember where you left your boots. Stay wild, stay curious, and for the love of all things blaze, stay safe, so we can see you back around the fire next time.